If we had to find one civilization that has been spoken about more than any other in history, it would undoubtedly be Atlantis. This place has sparked people's imagination for thousands of years and has even inspired artists like Plato and others to create entire stories around it. However, there is one major problem with this. Atlantis never really existed, at least not in the way that it was described. The only reason that we know about it is because of some writings from Plato, who claimed that it was a great civilization that was swallowed by the sea and no trace of it could be found. Since then, people have been looking for it, and various theories have been put forward, but none have really stood up to scrutiny. That is until now, because in today's video, we are going to take a look at some submerged ruins that may actually prove that the true Atlantis did exist all along. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like button for more videos. And without further ado, let's get into it. The first site that we have to look at are the Bimini Road. This is a fascinating archaeological site that can be found in the Bahamas. It consists of a vast network of stone formations that can only be accessed by scuba diving or snorkeling. These structures include large stone slabs that are arranged in geometric patterns, and some believe that they may have been part of a lost civilization. However, this isn't the only reason that people have become so fascinated by them. There are two other reasons that people have come to suspect that these ruins may be part of the lost city of Atlantis. First off, it is said that the legendary city was swallowed by the ocean suddenly, which caused it to sink below the water. And this is exactly what happened here. According to geological evidence, the islands that once surrounded the Bahamas sank beneath the waves just 7,600 years ago. Secondly, the Bimini Road can be found at almost exactly the same location as Plato suggested the Atlantis would be located. In his text, he stated that the city would be situated in the Atlantic Ocean, not far from the Strait of Gibraltar, which is where the Bimini Road is. While this doesn't confirm that this is the lost city of Atlantis, it certainly makes it a lot more believable than other theories. Unfortunately, it has been speculated that these ruins are actually man-made, but so far scientists have not been able to come to a definitive conclusion. Another site that we have to look at is Yonaguni Monument. This is an underwater rock formation that can be found off the coast of Yonaguni Island in Japan. Just like the Bimini Road, it consists of large slabs of rock that appear to be arranged in a geometric pattern. But what makes this site so fascinating is its resemblance to known ancient structures. Some people say that it looks like the Egyptian pyramids or the Inca ruins of Machu Picchu. Now, obviously, just because something looks like an ancient structure doesn't mean that it is one, but it still adds to the mystery. There are many theories as to how this structure could have been created. One of the most popular ones is that it was carved out by ancient civilizations who lived on the island thousands of years ago. However, another theory is that it was created naturally by erosion or a landslide. What makes things even more difficult is that the site is very hard to access, which makes studying it extremely difficult. Because of this, we don't know much about the Yonaguni Monument, and we may never know for sure if it is a man-made structure or not. If it does turn out that it is man-made, then it could potentially be the lost city of Atlantis, or it could be something else entirely. Only time and further research will tell. The next site that we have to look at is the city of Heraklion. This is an ancient Egyptian city that was built on the Mediterranean coast. It was founded in the 8th century BC and quickly became one of the most important cities in Egypt. However, over the centuries, the city began to decline, and eventually it was completely abandoned. What makes this site interesting is that it is said to have been destroyed by an earthquake and tsunami, which caused it to sink into the sea. This is similar to the story of Atlantis, which was also said to have been destroyed by an earthquake and flood. Of course, this doesn't prove that Heraklion is the lost city of Atlantis, but it certainly adds to the mystery. To make things even more interesting, the city is said to have been very wealthy and powerful, which is similar to what Plato wrote about Atlantis. He claimed that it was a place where kings lived in great palaces and where there were all kinds of luxury items. If this is true, then it is possible that Heracleion could be the inspiration for Plato's story. Unfortunately, we may never know for sure if this is true or not. But what we do know is that the city was destroyed in a catastrophic event that caused it to sink into the sea. Another site that we have to look at is the city of Heracleion. Unlike the previous Heracleion, this one can be found in Greece and was one of the most important cities in the ancient world. It was the capital of the kingdom of Thera and was home to the famous Minoan civilization. It was also said to be very wealthy and powerful, which again is similar to what Plato wrote about Atlantis. What makes this site interesting is that it is said to have been destroyed by a volcanic eruption which caused it to sink into the sea. This is similar to the story of Atlantis, which was also said to have been destroyed by a natural disaster. Of course, just because something is similar to the story of Atlantis doesn't mean that it is the lost city, but it certainly adds to the mystery. To make things even more interesting, the city was once home to a powerful navy which controlled much of the Mediterranean Sea. This is similar to what Plato wrote about Atlantis, claiming that it had a powerful navy that allowed it to control trade routes all over the ocean. Of course, this could just be a coincidence, but it is still worth mentioning. Ultimately, we may never know for sure if this city is the lost city of Atlantis. But what we do know is that it was once a powerful and prosperous city until it was destroyed by a volcanic eruption. The next site that we have to look at is the Lion City. This is an ancient Chinese city that was built in the 7th century BC. It was the capital of the state of Qin and was home to many important figures in Chinese history. What makes this site interesting is that it is said to have been destroyed by an earthquake and flood, which caused it to sink into the ground. This is similar to the story of Atlantis, which was also said to have been destroyed by an earthquake and flood. Of course, this doesn't prove that the Lion City is the lost city of Atlantis, but it certainly adds to the mystery. To make things even more interesting, the city was once very wealthy and powerful. It was home to many important trade routes and was known for its advanced technology. This is similar to what Plato wrote about Atlantis, claiming that it was a place where there was great wealth and advanced technology. Of course, this could just be a coincidence, but it is still worth mentioning. Ultimately, we may never know for sure if this city is the lost city of Atlantis. But what we do know is that it was once a powerful and prosperous city until it was destroyed by a natural disaster. In conclusion, there are many fascinating sites around the world that could potentially be the lost city of Atlantis. From the Bimini Road to the Lion City, each site has its own unique mysteries and legends. While we may never know for sure if any of these sites is the true Atlantis, one thing is certain: the search for Atlantis continues to captivate our imaginations and inspire us to explore the unknown. So who knows? Maybe one day we will discover the truth about this legendary city. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.